And we're delighted to have Georgia U.S. Senator John Ossoff here in the WRGA studios with us. And Senator Ossoff, you're in Northwest Georgia today, and you've stopped by to kind of update us on a couple of things. And the first thing I wanted to talk to you about was legislation. It's bipartisan legislation that's been introduced that would ban members of Congress from trading stocks. Can you just tell me a little bit about that? That's kind of taking off, isn't it?
It is, and it's an important issue. And first, let me thank you for having me. And I'm in Northwest Georgia today. Was in Lafayette, where I was announcing some infrastructure law investment in downtown Lafayette to make it more walkable, rideable, improve quality of life. And I've been in Rome today to announce a bipartisan infrastructure law investment in cleaning up the old Northwest Regional Hospital site, so that can be redeveloped for the community. But yes, the matter at hand is the effort to ban stock trading by members of Congress. To ban stock trading by members of Congress. This is something that I pledged to work on when I was running for the Senate. Shortly after being elected, I introduced the Ban Congressional Stock Trading Act. And we've been in negotiations since then with colleagues in both political parties to try to get an agreement. We now have a bipartisan framework for a bill to ban stock trading by members of Congress. That's major progress, and it's something we need to achieve. It's important ethics reform. Members of Congress should not be playing the stock market while we are making public policy and while we have access to all this privileged information.
All right, and this would also go for like spouses, independent children of members of Congress too, would it?
Correct.
All right, and how hopeful are you? Where are we at with the process? And how hopeful are you that this will get through?
Well, the fact that we now have a bipartisan framework is major progress. So when I initially introduced the Ban Congressional Stock Trading Act, I knew we had a long road ahead of us, and one of the first things we needed to achieve was making it bipartisan, getting Democrats and Republicans on the same page. And now we've done that. We have Democrats and Republicans who are coming together to support a proposal to ban stock trading by members of Congress. I should note it would also include the president and the vice president. We who are in elected offices should not be buying and selling stock on the stock market while we make these decisions. The public needs to be able to trust that we're pursuing the public's interest and not our private financial interest.
Great. And you mentioned this had bipartisan support. Another piece of legislation that has that's you've sponsored with Republican members of the Senate is the Gold Star Children Education Act. Can you explain to me a little bit about what this is and what the goal of this legislation is?
Of course. Gold Star families are the families of U.S. military service members who are fallen. And as you know, my team and I every day are working hard on behalf of military families and veterans in Georgia. And there's no one more deserving of the gratitude and support and love of the American people than the spouses and children of fallen service members. These whole families have made heartbreaking, terrible sacrifices in our national defense. And so I've introduced this legislation to ensure that if, God forbid, a child in Georgia has a parent who falls in the line of duty in action in the United States military, that child can still attend a Department of Defense school if the family so chooses. So they don't lose their access to DOD education because their parent, God forbid, was killed in action or fallen while serving.
And what more important thing that we can do than to take care of the children of servicemen who have fallen in action?
Yeah, and look, these military families, I just want to take a moment and express my gratitude to all of those who serve across Georgia, all of the veterans who have served. And please know that my office is here at ossoff.senate.gov to help you any way that we can. We help thousands of veterans per year to access resources through the VA. We help service members who need assistance with DOD. And these junior enlisted personnel in particular are not doing it for the money, right? This is not like a lucrative career. This is a commitment to our national defense, and it's tough, not just for the service members, but for their spouses and their kids.
All right. And anything else going on that you can update us on that's currently in the pipeline?
Well, look, I do want to take a moment and address the horrific events of this weekend. And absolutely shocked to see that attempt on the former president's life. I am grateful that he was not more seriously injured. Don't yet know the motive of the shooter in this case, but the level of hatred and division and polarization in American politics right now is so dangerous and so destructive. We've just got to focus on the fact that we're all Americans. Yes, we have differences and disagreements, and we argue and we hold elections, but it cannot come to violence.
Right. And you mentioned a little bit earlier that you were in Rome today regarding the former Northwest Georgia Regional Hospital. Any information you can give us on that, where we're at on that?
Well, look, the city has identified clearing that site and preparing it for redevelopment as their top economic development priority for years now. A couple of years ago, I appropriated some federal funds in order to assist them in the planning and get going on the cleanup. They've now been awarded a new grant through the infrastructure law to continue that cleanup. So I am here to help Rome continue that work so that I hope in the not too distant future that can be a vibrant and thriving commercial or residential development to improve quality of life here in Rome.
All right, great. Senator Ossoff, I think that's about the end of our time. I want to thank you for stopping by, as always, keeping us updated here in the area, what's going on in Washington, and also some of the things that's going to benefit us here locally in Rome and Floyd County.
Pleasure to serve Rome in the Senate, and anytime you need me, it's ossoff.senate.gov.
All right, great. Thank you once again.
Thank you.